A TRX split squat is a really good movement. I often use it just to work on symmetries. What I mean by that is normally, if we're doing like a front lunge in your assessment, we see like a hip go to one side or the other, that's an asymmetry. As we start squatting down, we do like this number, or if we're lunging out, we do that number. But that tells me that we're really tight in one side. And that tells me that in our split squat, we're going to be seeing the same sort of pattern. So we want to try to fight that tendency. And I like a split squat because then we're starting to get a little bit more of the front leg and the back of the back leg. And so it starts getting opposing muscles of differing legs kind of working in tandem as opposed to working opposing ones. All right, so you start it all off for your TRX split squat. You want to make sure your railroad tracks, your feet are underneath those hips, so it's not walking on the tightrope. In line with those hips. As you squat down low, you want to make sure the knees in line with those toes, back knees in line with the hip, as well as the toes front in line with the hip as well, and straight up. So we don't want to see like any this or what have you, none of that. We don't want to be seeing the hips gravitate out. Our main focus, and this is great for the TRX because we're getting added points of stability so that we can focus primarily less on balance and more on using the right muscles. So if we typically saw a hip hike to the left side, we're going to be focusing on trying to keep those hips gravitate out to the right just a little bit more. All right? So a TRX split squat is going to look like so. You're going to start with the handles right about where the chest is, or a couple of inches in front, not too far front, not too far back. So you go straight down, bend low. You want to make sure that the earlobe on top, shoulder on hips on back knee, and drive straight up. It's also a really good regression for people with knee issues, or people that are just really obese, or just have a history of knee problems, just really weak. What have you. Great for just so many different movements. It's just a stellar exercise. A couple of the deviations you'll see, a lot of quad dominant people will stay kind of in this position. A lot of people will start with hands kind of out here. Now we're not really pulling on the TRX. It's not really helping us nearly as much. I like to keep it right here. You want to keep the TRX taut so that you can pull yourself up if you need to, because we tend to be a lot stronger in the upper body when we're trying to fix deviations in the lower. Right? And the other deviation we tend to be like too far forward. And so we start like here, and we're just like doing this thing, or like a typical split squat is too shallow or too wide. So you gotta really hammer it in, coach your clients like this is where we want the feet, this is it. I mean, really kind of just setting it in stone. I like a split squat because then once it's in the right spot, they don't have to worry about that, they just focus on the movement itself. So TRX split squat is a phenomenal movement for the obese, for the older, for the weaker, for the people with knee problems, for history of all those issues. Really cool stuff.